How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to SCC for another episode. Happy New Year. Yes, I do realize we're 3 weeks into the new year, but for the last 2.5, 3 weeks I've had the plague. Pretty much lost my voice, couldn't talk, which my girlfriend was absolutely overjoyed with. But now she's sick and she lost her voice. So now this is going to be an episode kind of getting back into the swing of things. As you can see, I put both bikes into the corner for a while since I didn't have any energy to do anything on those, but I'll be getting back into the install videos end of this month, or it could be as late as beginning or middle of February by the time I get the next shipment of parts in. And I'm also still searching for a source for new engine kits and the T-belt drive, since gasbike.net still has not gotten back to me. I've left repeated phone calls after the video I did on them, emails, things like that, never heard anything back. But I still get their emails advertising their sales, so awesome. Anyways, new episodes, it's going to be, I haven't thought of the name of it, cycle chat, corner chat, whatever you want to call it. Basically going to be taking your comments straight from Facebook or YouTube and then answering those comments. Each episode I'm going to try and keep it relatively short. I'm going to pick about 3 comments and then answer those comments. So I'm going to pilot this for about a month or so. If it takes off, then I'm going to run with it and do this every week, at least once a week, on top of my how-to and install videos. So let's get right into it and go to our first comment. So the first comment comes to us from Lucky SR Hope on our Facebook page. It says, awesome, I have some questions that may be relevant to others as well. Number 1, can you talk about your thoughts on different brands / models of 4-stroke engines? It's okay, I'm just still dying. Okay, so the 4-stroke Husheng compared to Honda. Which one is better? Which is the best bang for your buck? Honda generally is about 2 to 3 times the cost of a Husheng, plus they're a lot harder to get a hold of. I've only seen one business sell the engine kits with an actual Honda engine, and you're looking $600-700 for basically just to have a Honda engine with the same cheap parts that come with any other kit. I've only ran the Husheng kits on 4 of my previous builds, and they're going on number 5 and 6 here. I still keep in contact with one of the guys that I sold my first builds to. He's up to about 5,300 miles and still going strong, no issues at all. Are you going to get a bad Husheng engine? Absolutely. But then on the other hand, you're probably going to get a bad Honda here and there too. Is it really worth 2 to 3 times what you're paying just for Honda name and maybe a little bit better build quality? So far I haven't seen it. I'd rather stick to these engines. If you buy the engines alone, you're looking at about $150 out the door. So not bad. I'll take my chances, save some money, and then if I do get a bad engine here, I'll gladly sink $150 into a new one and still be way ahead versus buying a Honda engine. So now on the second part of that question. Okay, so second part of the question is, also I haven't heard you talk about the suspension seat post, which I think would be a must for hardtail riders. Thanks in advance, and thanks for doing the videos. You've helped me out a lot. So on one of my first builds, actually I believe it was my second build that I did a blue, it was pretty sure it was a McCarty, it was a GTS, which was really weird. It was really cool because right in this section here, it had just a single tube instead of 2 here. And in there it was built in, it was just a little mini spring that gave you just a little bit of suspension on the back. But like he mentioned, there are seat posts where you can buy at any bike shop. It's literally just the post itself, and it has just a little shock in there. So on here on my bikes, they come with springs on the seat, which do help out a lot compared to a normal seat. But if you want to add a little bit more suspension to it, a seat post is a really good, cheap option that you can put on any bike. Just make sure that you have the room to have that, so that that shock in that seat post is probably going to take up, I don't know, 2 to 4 inches depending on the seat post. And so make sure that you don't need your seat all the way down at the bottom for it to fit you. Otherwise, the suspension Seatpost is not going to work out too well. Second comment comes to us from Sag King on YouTube. Hey, I live in LA, California. Is it legal to have an 80cc engine on my bike? Do I need any other requirements, or should I get a 50cc engine? So I literally get these questions from all over the world. Is it legal to ride my bike here? What are the requirements? What are the stipulations, etc., etc.? Truth is, I have no clue. Could I look it up online? Absolutely, but I still don't know if that's going to be true or not. The best thing I recommend you do is go into your local government center and actually look up the written rule. See what they have in their state or local statutes and see what is actually written for motorized bikes. I really wouldn't recommend asking a cop. Most cops, depending on the area you're in, aren't going to know. And the minute they hear engine on a bicycle, they're probably just going to say no, even if they don't know. Some cops might know and might be honest, but for the most part, I'm going to say that when you mention things like that, they're just going to revert to saying, no, not legal. Get a motorcycle, get a scooter, whatever. So really go into something that's been written already by somebody and is actually in writing, and get the statute number and keep it handy. That way, if you do get pulled over or whatever, chances are you're going to know more than where they're at. I know on the West Coast or down south where it's warm all year round, they're probably a lot more common than they are here. I know up here in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, I ride around and cops don't know what to think. Yet in over 6,000 miles, I've never been pulled over, and I've literally followed cops down the road before. So depends on your area. Like I said, get something in writing, write down that statute number. That's the best thing. I wish I could help you more, but I don't know what online sites are going to be true or not, and I don't want to misdirect anybody and give them bad advice and end up getting a fine, a ticket, or worse, getting your bike confiscated or something like that. Comment number 3, Akashic Records writes 2 comments back to back. Your website has nothing to show. His website shows nothing. Out of Bez or dead? Okay, so I had chuckled at this comment that this person left and I've actually been getting a lot more of these comments that they can't find my website, or even more confusing to me is my website shows nothing. I never had a website. I still don't have a website, and chances are I never will have a website. So I don't know, it doesn't surprise me that my website is empty. It just surprises me that apparently I have a website. I don't know. And then there's nothing to show, either out of business or dead. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm close to dead, but as far as out of business, I never did this as a business. The only thing I do is the YouTube channel, obviously, for helping everybody how to build motorized bikes, how to overcome issues, and how to troubleshoot. And then my Facebook page is just a little bit different way to reach out to people and update people on the small things that doesn't warrant creating a video on a post on YouTube. So obviously my YouTube channel, and then Facebook, which is facebook.com/SCCMN. But I don't have an actual website since I never sell anything. The only time I mention websites is from vendors or sources that I get parts from. So if I get really good service and I get really good parts, I'll share with you where I get those parts. But it's not my sites, it's other people's. So, and if you have troubles with those sites, please let me know and I can help you out or reach out to them and find out what's going on. So yeah. That's 3 comments for this week, and like I said, depending on the flow of comments, I'll do at least 1 video per week. If there's a lot of comments coming in on a week, then I'll do multiple videos. And then I'll also be getting back into my how-to and install videos shortly. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Again, subscribe, like, share this channel, and if you do want to keep up with the smaller updates, go to Facebook. The SCC Facebook page, which is facebook.com/SCCMN. You can also email me directly at sinistercustomcycles@gmail.com. In the meantime, though, as far as things coming up, I will be getting back into these builds here shortly. Like I said, I'm trying to find vendors for the parts coming up, and that puts me about the end of January, beginning to middle of February at the latest, and then I'll be getting back into installing parts like throttles, heavy-duty chain tensioners, center stands, and then the rest of the build from there. So stay tuned, keep watching, and keep those comments coming.